Did you ever feel like you're not going anywhere after the first mistake? Or worse, after a series of them? In the ancient streets of Greece, two friends set out on a journey to build their business. While one faced each setback with quiet determination, the other let every mistake feel like the end. But what if the real secret to success isn't in avoiding mistakes, but in learning from them? If deep in your heart you truly believe in what you're doing, you must keep going. Discover the powerful lesson that transformed their lives and can change yours too. In the bustling streets of a small Greek town, two childhood friends, Darius and Thanos, had always dreamed of starting their own businesses. After much discussion and planning, they decided to enter the camel trade. Camels were prized possessions, not only for their endurance and strength, but also for their value in transporting goods across the vast desert lands. Both men were filled with excitement and hope as they embarked on their new journey, each with different approaches to business. Darius was a man of quiet resolve. He believed that success was not just about immediate results, but about learning from each step of the journey. With each passing day, as he set up his small shop and cared for his camels, Darius remained calm, even when customers were scarce. He spent his time observing, learning, and refining his approach. Every setback, whether it was a camel falling ill or a potential buyer walking away, was seen by Darius as a lesson. He knew that each challenge was an opportunity to grow, and he trusted that, with patience, success would come at the perfect moment. Thanos, on the other hand, was full of energy and passion, but lacked the patience his friend possessed. He had envisioned swift success and grand profits. But when the customers didn't come as quickly as he had hoped, Thanos became increasingly frustrated. Every mistake felt like a disaster to him. When a deal fell through, he would curse his luck, and when a camel showed signs of illness, he would fear the worst. The stress began to weigh on him, and his frustration grew with each passing day. Weeks turned into months, and while Darius continued to quietly build his business, Thanos found himself struggling more and more. The lack of customers gnawed at him, and his once unshakable confidence began to crumble. He would often look over at Darius's shop and wonder why his friend seemed so at peace. Why isn't he worried? Why isn't he panicking like I am? Thanos would think to himself, unable to understand how Darius remained so calm. One day, after a particularly difficult week where everything seemed to go wrong, Thanos could no longer contain his frustration. He stormed over to Darius's shop, his face red with anger and desperation. "Darius, how can you be so calm? We're failing. Our businesses are going nowhere, and yet you act as if everything is fine. Don't you care about your success?" Darius looked up from the camel he was tending to and smiled gently. "Of course I care, Thanos, but I also know that success doesn't come overnight. Every mistake, every setback, it's all part of the process. We have to learn from these moments if we want to succeed." Thanos shook his head. "But I've made so many mistakes. How can I keep going when it feels like nothing is working?" Darius put down his tools and walked over to his friend, placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Thanos, listen to me. I know it's hard, but you have to believe in yourself. If deep in your heart you truly believe in what you're doing, you must keep going. Every mistake you've made is a lesson. Don't see them as disasters, but as opportunities to grow and get better. Trust that if you keep learning and improving, everything you're working for will come to you at the perfect moment." Thanos stared at Darius, taking in his friend's words. It was as if a weight had been lifted from his shoulders. For the first time in weeks, he felt a sense of calm wash over him. "You really think so?" he asked, his voice filled with a mix of hope and doubt. "I know so," Darius replied with conviction. "We didn't start this journey to give up at the first sign of trouble. We're in this for the long haul, and I promise you, if we stay patient and keep learning, we'll succeed." Thanos nodded slowly, the fire of determination reigniting in his heart. He realized that his impatience and frustration had clouded his vision, making him lose sight of the bigger picture. With renewed focus, he returned to his shop, ready to tackle his challenges with a new mindset. In the following months, both Darius and Thanos continued their work, but with a noticeable difference in their attitudes. Thanos, inspired by Darius's advice, began to approach his business with patience and resilience. Whenever a mistake occurred, he no longer saw it as a disaster, but as an opportunity to learn and improve. He started to enjoy the process, finding satisfaction in the small victories and lessons learned along the way. Darius, as always, remained steadfast in his approach, quietly building his reputation as a reliable and trustworthy camel trader. Slowly but surely, his business began to grow. Word spread of his well-cared-for camels and his honest dealings, and more customers began to seek him out. The steady stream of business that had eluded him in the beginning now became a reality. Thanos, too, began to see progress. His new approach allowed him to connect better with his customers and improve his business practices. Though the growth was slow, it was consistent, and for the first time, Thanos felt a deep sense of pride in his work. One bright morning, after nearly a year of hard work, Darius and Thanos stood together in the marketplace, watching as a large group of merchants approached their shops. The merchants had traveled from a distant land and were in search of camels to transport their goods. After inspecting the camels of both friends, the merchants decided to purchase from Darius and Thanos, impressed by the quality of their animals and the reputation they had built. As the merchants finalized their purchases, Darius turned to Thanos with a knowing smile. "Do you see now, my friend? We both succeeded because we didn't give up. The perfect moment came because we were patient and learned from our mistakes." Thanos nodded, his eyes shining with gratitude and understanding. "You were right, Darius. I let my impatience get the best of me. But now I see that everything we worked for has come to us, just as you said, at the perfect moment." As they watched the merchants lead the camels away, both men felt a deep sense of fulfillment. Their journey had been difficult, filled with challenges and setbacks, but they had persevered. They had learned that success was not just about reaching the destination, but about the journey itself, about growing, learning, and believing in oneself, even when the path was not clear. In the years that followed, Darius and Thanos continued to thrive, their businesses growing beyond what they had ever imagined. They became well-respected figures in the community, known not only for their successful camel trade, but also for their wisdom and resilience. Whenever a young entrepreneur would come to them for advice, Darius would share the same words he had once given to Thanos. "If deep in your heart you believe in yourself, keep going, and you will get everything at the perfect moment. Use every mistake as a lesson, and trust the journey." Thanos would nod in agreement, adding his own insight. "Patience is your greatest ally. Don't rush the process. Let each step teach you something new, and you'll find that success comes when you're truly ready for it." And so the legacy of their journey continued, inspiring others to believe in themselves and to trust that with patience and perseverance, they too would find success at the perfect moment. This story captures the essence of patience, perseverance, and the belief that success will come when the time is right. The relationship between the two friends highlights the importance of support and encouragement, even in the face of challenges.